Um, there's a lot of, it's like Mauricio always says, that all these thoughts are flying around, and then it's how to bring them all together when we're here. Because if we can't use these words, these stories from the Torah for our lives, then what is the purpose? And the only way that I can relate to them is as a woman. And I was thinking of Rivka. Rivka. It says Rivka went to inquire of the Lord what was going on, and he answered her. I don't know how she did it. I don't know where she went. I don't know if she went to Abraham. I don't know how it happened. It doesn't tell us. But I know she heard. And even though she knew that God, the creator of the universe, was speaking to her, she still had to struggle with her own nature, with her own upbringing. And I was thinking about how we all have to do that, how I struggle, even though I know God is watching over me, even though I know He's in charge, but I have all these influences from my life that make me act the way I do. My mother was a very strong woman, and my father gave her, she didn't have a degree, even though she wanted one, but my father gave her 3 initials after her name, VOA. And everybody would ask, what is VOA? And she said, it's voice of authority. So my mother had a voice of authority, and I inherited that. And even when I have no idea what I'm talking about, I say it with such authority that people think that what I'm saying is true. So Rivka had to deal with her character when it came to something that she did that was really, it made a big difference in Isaac's life. And where did she get it from? Because you don't know much about her mother, you know about her brother, Lavan, and especially more later on when we read about what he did to Jacob. So we know that he deceived people. So that showed me that that's where she learned about deceiving her husband. And we as women, it says in the Bible that when we manipulate facts and situations to get what we want, there's a consequence. It says manipulation is next to sorcery. It's like sorcery. And I know that when I want something my way, I will leave out a few details or just color it a little bit so that I will get my way, because it's a lot easier to ask for forgiveness than to ask for permission. So, and we as women have to be very careful that we don't manipulate our men. When we are following what the world says a woman should be, we have to be very careful, because feminism is a dangerous thing. My mother was a feminist in her time. And the problem is that feminism doesn't see women as we are in the Torah. The Torah paints a picture that we are the highest, we are the best of the creation. So we don't have to lower ourselves. We have to accept that we are great in our roles, that in the way God has made us. Last night we had a family who came for Shabbat dinner, and they're from Iran. And the woman was very clear about her role. When I asked what she did in Iran, because they're here, they left Iran to come here, she said, I stayed home with my children. And it was normal for women to stay home and raise their children. And she has 3 what look like to me very healthy children. So today, that is put down as if it's not a good enough thing for women to raise their children. And our society is suffering because of it. So we as women, we need to learn how to see our men as our protector, as the one who's going to be the one who keeps us on a straight path, because basically they see things different than we do. And it's not easy for us to do that, because sometimes we think we know better. So we have a lot to learn from Rivka, from Sarah, from all the mothers of Israel. And we have to learn how to submit in a way that's honoring the men in our lives and help them to take their roles and their positions. So really the story of Rivka is a wonderful story for us to learn from. Shabbat Shalom.